What is good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gray, your one and only corrupted angel, and today we are here with another weapon review. Today we're back on Warframe, we're doing a weapon review, and it is nonetheless the Boltor Prime. I absolutely love this weapon. It is probably one of my favorite weapons in the game, to be entirely honest with you. I absolutely love the Boltor. It was my favorite weapon when I started. And then I got the Telos Boltor, and that was amazing fun. And I eventually made my way to the Boltor Prime. Unlike the Telos Boltor, which is a crit weapon, this is not a crit weapon, it is a status weapon. However, with the help of this Incarnon, it can be way silly when it comes to a hybrid status crit combo. Let's get straight into the abilities first, and we'll go from there. So, starting off, we have the Incarnon form, which gives us slash damage and multi-shot. Then we have base increase of +4 damage with a channeled buff of punch through and accuracy, which is fantastic for dealing with those nasty hordes that a lot of single target weapons can't seem to do. Next up, we got reload. This is really important on this weapon because my god does it reload slow. It may be one of my favorite weapons, but reloading it is an absolute agony. Now we have, last but not least, the crit chance, giving us the actual hybrid effect that we want in the first place. Absolutely love this thing with the crit chance bonus. Let's get straight into the actual weapon itself, and I will quickly talk about a couple of options when it comes to this weapon, as this is a Riven build, but there is plenty of ways to build this, so we'll go over a couple right now. Starting off, we are a viral slash build. This uses hunter munitions here. Now, this is not necessary. Keep in mind, right, you don't need to go with hunter munitions if you don't want to, because the Incarnon form gives you slash procs already. You could easily put heat on here, which would also be pretty nice, but it really is up to you ultimately. The other option as well is you could go with a different set of elements rather than going viral. You could go something like magnetic or heat or whatever it is that you think is helpful to the situation. I personally just go viral hunter munitions for this specific build. I think it just sort of works the best in regards to this weapon, because it means that if you punch a bunch of holes in someone but don't quite kill them and you have to go through that long reload, that viral hunter munitions combo is going to rip through them while you're reloading and get the kill in a pretty simple fashion, especially when you've got so much punch through. The status chance being 100% on this build as well makes it so that way if you do have to reload, things are probably going to die while you reload, which is really fun. We have critical delay, and this is where my Riven mod comes in. Critical delay is pushing us up to 78% critical chance, which is really nice. Obviously, if this was a Telos Boltor, we would have way higher critical chance but way lower status, but I think the status is really handy. And then we've got the crit damage, which is the Boltor Rivet. We've got the critical damage and we've got status duration. This means, again, those status procs are going to last forever. Super handy. And then adding some extra multi-shot in there is just somewhat nice too. Obviously, this could be a bit of a better Riven. It could have an element built on instead of multi-shot or status duration that isn't as necessary. It could have critical chance built on as well, so that way we can bump it up even closer to 100% critical chance. But ultimately, I think that this is a pretty solid Riven for what it is that I'm trying to do. I might re-roll it in the future, we'll see. If you are unaware as well, and you are new to the channel, I always put Amalgam Serration on my weapons, because unlike many people, I don't mod for just damage and min-maxing my stats. I mod for comfort as well, so Amalgam Serration is going to stay on my build forever. I love the sprint speed increase. I think it's fantastic. The initial damage increase as well is super nice too. Priming that with primary deadhead makes it super simple to get a bunch of damage, especially with galvanized aptitude. And we're getting plenty of multi-shot with galvanized chamber. This thing ramps up into an absolute behemoth. If you want to put more former on this thing, you can. Any primed elemental mods as well would be a perfect thing to former on here instead of a riven. If you didn't have this riven, a build would be something more like this. We'll quickly put it together. Here we go. Put Rhyme Rounds and Malignant Force still on, but instead of the riven, I would put on Vital Sense, wherever that is. If I can find it, there we go. And you get a little bit more damage. So you get a slight bit more critical damage than the riven. Like I said, the riven isn't anything super special. This would do just fine. Also, it also then gives you 4 extra bonus capacity. So maybe you could get rid of Malignant Force altogether. You would drop down to 81%, but then you could add Infected Clip and get even potentially more damage available to you if you wanted to go down that route. So you don't have to if you don't want to, but this is definitely a viable option if need be. Nonetheless, though, I absolutely love this thing. I think it's a lot of fun, and who doesn't like a punchy, viral slash procking goblin weapon that can chew through hordes like no tomorrow? So let's give it our signature Steel Path Mott Run and give you guys a preview. We're running Incarnon, which doesn't have any benefits to the weapons. Obviously, again, all weapons in this game are going to change performance-wise depending on your setup. If you have a viral primer like my Panzervault Profiler, then the viral stacks on this weapon are obviously not needed as much. If you want to go with a Rhino or a Chroma, then you don't need Serration even, and you can get an extra magnetic mod or something like that in there as well instead. But as you can see, just without even procking the Incarnon form, the reload isn't too long, but it's long enough. We're still punching through people nice and easy. Let's switch over to the Incarnon form now that we've got a bunch of enemies. And as you can see, oh my lord, it just rips. It absolutely performs amazing. I love this weapon. It has such a large amount of ammunition stowage as well, which is just fantastic. We're gonna see if we can just pick up some peeps over here, drop them down. Okay, they're just not getting up. It's very odd. But you get the idea. This thing rips. It is so fun to use. Absolutely love it. Definitely worth getting your hands on. And again, a big shout out as well to the Telos Boltor, which this build would work just fine on too. Obviously, if I was you, I'd probably go with the 70-70. Sorry, the 60-60 mods, I mean. On the Telos Boltor, just because that way you can get some reasonable amount of status still, because the status would be closer to 50% doing that. But I might do a full review on a Telos Boltor with an Incarnon eventually, if I ever get a chance to get around to something like that. But Telos Boltor is legit too, and definitely not something to be slept on at all. As you can see though, this just performs so good. Get the Incarnon up, and then it's just going straight through the entire group of enemies. We're ramping up so much multi-shot, there's so much damage. If you can get those headshots with Deadhead as well, it becomes even more ridiculous. We're doing 90,000 damage hits sometimes in that Incarnon form. It's absurd. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. We'll see how it goes with an assassin. I don't know how well this thing rips through an assassin, to be entirely honest with you. I've never really put it to the test, but we'll find out in a second, I'm sure. Oh my lord. It's so goofy, I love it. There we go. We'll pile everyone up, rip through them. This is also a fantastic weapon if you're ever a mag main. Highly recommend it because, again, this punch through works so well on magnetized enemies. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're doing it. We're getting some very annoying little goblins running around with shields. I don't know how we've managed to have that happen, but it's happening. Get rid of this guy. There we go. Everyone's spread out. Let's quickly solve that problem. There we go. Nice and simple. Any headshots that you get as well are going to obviously do insanely more damage. Super fun weapon. Obviously no turret Incarnon or anything like that, but I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with not being able to compare entirely to something that is as ridiculous as a turret. In saying that though, this is a single player game, so who cares if you can't compare to a turret? You are very much so not needing the overkill, and I think a lot of people don't really respect that fact. Let's go grab some life support. While we wait for the assassin. Alright, there we go. We've got all the viral procs from the Boltor. Absolutely popping off.
The raid is off to a successful
Very, very nice.
When you need it,
Come on, assassin. Where are you? This guy's taking his sweet time, dude. Oh my lord, look at the damage. It's just insane. Again, the Incarnon form doesn't actually take too long to build up, assuming that you have aim, unlike myself.
Get ready for a capsule.
Oh, this is the latest spawn I've had of an assassin in a while. There he is. God, he's taking his sweet time. Alright, where is he? Come on. It's violence. Alright, Mr. Assassin Violence. Where are you, sir? I wish to shoot you to see if I can kill you. Oh, yeah, we can kill him. I don't know where he went. He's teleporting everywhere. It's a bit annoying. No, we ran out of our Incarnon just at the last second, but that's okay. We did it. Easy peasy. Absolutely crushed it. And there you have it. One very, very effective little bean in the form of a Boltor. Again, what a fantastic weapon. Absolutely love it. I think it's so fun. It's such a cool thing, especially with the pinning mechanics against pinning them to the walls and stuff like that. Really cute. Love it. But yeah, just overall been a really fun time with it. One of my go-to mainstay weapons. I use it all the time with Mirage when I want to break from something like the Torrid. And I will never, ever, ever in a million years not do something like that for the sake of fun, right? I love being able to swap out weapons, change it up, make something different, and the Boltor gives such a fun little playstyle. So check it out if you haven't already. Give it a go. You can do this exact same thing with the Telos Boltor. I have a Telos Boltor right here. It's not fully built, but it does the trick. Let's quickly have a look at this. This is, again, I'll just show you what the stats look like if it were done on this weapon instead. It should be relatively similar. You'll see immediately, though, you have way more critical chance and way less status. Again, it's not necessarily a bad option at all. It's just a matter of personal opinion. right? You get a little bit less base damage because you don't have the Incarnon form on here, but you're going to be sitting at roughly 48% status and 90% critical base. This would go significantly higher as well if you were to, again, put that Incarnon on and get an extra 14%. So you could get some really nice, consistent orange crits with this build. You would just have a lot less status, so you might need a primer in the form of viral, like a Panzervolpifiler, for example. So just keep that in mind when you're doing a build like that, but it is still a very good option as well. So nevertheless, hope you all enjoyed the video. Appreciate all the love, like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. If you want to support my channel, I appreciate it. I will hopefully be back again very soon with some more content. Sorry for a bit of the late uploads. I know they haven't been on time, but at least they've been on the day. So thank you again. Check out the Twitch, check out the Discord, all that sort of jazz. You know the deal by now. Much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.